Hello, today's video we have the following content.
A stunning plot twist. A new CP king is born in the short drama circle. The short drama circle is never short of hot topics, but this wave is truly explosive. While everyone was still immersed in the super sweet scenes created by Guo Yuxin and the male lead and she's too good at acting cute, another pair of names suddenly rushed to the center of the topic, Yuhang x Yiying. Without any preheating or build-up, they quickly ignited discussions after the release of First Taste, with barrage comments flooding the screen and trending topics soaring. Viewers left only one comment: "It's too sweet, there's no escaping it." Yuhang has always been considered a representative of steady, accurate and ruthless in the short drama circle, with extremely stable emotional control and his eye acting being particularly outstanding. But what is truly surprising is Yiying. She is not a sweet girl in the traditional sense, but she has a relaxed yet restrained attraction in front of the camera. She doesn't rely on acting cute to pile on sugar, but uses details to create ambiguity, a pause, an unfinished sentence, a slight approach, and the audience's heart races. In First Taste, their intimate scenes were few, yet each one hit the emotional mark perfectly. There were no overly forceful hugs or artificially sweet kisses, yet the more you watched, the more addictive it became. One netizen commented, "This isn't acting as a couple, it's like they were being secretly filmed dating." In contrast, Guo Yuxin's performance in She's Too Good at Acting Cute remains her undisputed sweetness ceiling in the short drama circle. Her strength lies in her outward emotional expression and strong infectiousness. A smile or a cry can quickly draw the audience into the story. However, precisely because it's so polished, some viewers have begun to experience aesthetic fatigue. It's still sweet, but it lacks a certain unknown excitement. Yiying's appearance fills this gap perfectly. Her sweetness is slow-burning, the kind that becomes more addictive the more you watch. No wonder an industry insider revealed that Guo Yuxin, after watching First Taste, couldn't help but sigh, "I definitely feel pressure." More importantly, Yuhang presents completely different chemistry with these two different actresses. With Guo Yuxin, the sweetness was natural. With Yiying, however, there was a hint of testing, tug-of-war, and danger. This change made viewers realize for the first time, Yuhang's CP compatibility was surprisingly high. The short drama market is evolving too quickly, and viewers' tastes are constantly upgrading. From sweet to the point of being cloying to sweet with a hint of angst, the CPs that truly endure never defined by trending topics, but by the desire to rewatch repeatedly. Therefore, this seemingly simple comparison of changing the female lead has actually become a watershed moment in short drama aesthetics. Viewers are no longer satisfied with being fed sugar, they've begun to scrutinize the quality of the sugar. Whether it's genuine emotion or an industrial formula, it's immediately obvious. Guo Yuxin's problem wasn't her looks or professionalism, but rather her overly adeptness at staying in her comfort zone. She knew when to lower her head, when to blink, when to speak softly, but all her emotions were precisely calculated, lacking the realism of being out of control. Viewers understood, but couldn't feel that clenched heart. Yiying is the complete opposite. She doesn't rush to please the camera, and sometimes she's even a bit slow on the uptake, but it's precisely this imperfection that makes the interactions believable. She'll briefly look away when making eye contact, and suddenly stop when getting close, giving the emotions room to develop. Yuhang, in her presence, is no longer a formulaic male lead, but a real man who can be nervous, hesitant, and attracted. This change is what truly makes First Taste so captivating. It's not about how intense the intimate scenes are, but rather that the ambiguity itself becomes the main focus. Viewers aren't drawn to the plot, but to the indescribable, unspoken emotional flow in the air. More importantly, Yiying's path to stardom is significantly different from traditional short drama actresses. She doesn't rely on a single character to gain popularity, but repeatedly tests her suitability across different genres. From sweet romance and realistic dramas to emotional power struggles, she can quickly get into character, forcing her co-stars to level up. This is why many male actors alongside her find it easier to gain wider recognition. When viewers start using chemistry as the primary criterion, the competitive logic of short dramas has already changed. Traffic is no longer the only answer, and templates are no longer a guarantee. Whoever can make hearts flutter will stay. On a deeper level, the strongest CP is never built on marketing hype, but rather the choice made by the camera for the audience. The key to Yiying surpassing Guo Yuxin isn't just being sweeter, but being more genuine. Between her and Yuhang, neither deliberately caters to the other, they resonate naturally on the same emotional frequency. Yuhang's restraint, forbearance, and sense of boundaries are gently pried open by Yiying, while Yiying's liveliness, tentativeness, and uncertainty are precisely caught by his composure. This relationship has its tug-of-war, its blank spaces, and its unspoken yet mutually understood moments. What the audience truly adores is never the hugs or kisses themselves, but the anticipation of will he get closer next second. This is precisely the most easily lost, yet most fatal, part of traditional sweet romance. In contrast, Guo Yuxin's problem isn't her ability, but that she understands the rules too well. When coquetry becomes a highly polished performance, love degenerates into a finished product presented to the audience, rather than a process unfolding. You can see the sweetness, but you can't connect emotionally. Yiying's brilliance lies in making love seem uncontrollable. Even simple acts like walking side by side or whispering conversation seem poised to crumble at any moment, yet they manage to stay stable. This dangerous yet restrained ambiguity is the emotional quality that captivates audiences today. Therefore, rather than saying she wins because of her on-screen chemistry, it's more accurate to say she wins because she pulled short dramas from formulaic consumption back to emotional experience. When viewers start repeatedly watching the same eye contact, the same pause, the answer is already clear. What's truly alarming, and what's most anticipated, is that Yiying's potential is far from exhausted. Data is just the result, trends are the signals. From audience engagement and repeat viewing rates to word-of-mouth recommendations, she has quietly completed the transformation from being seen to being needed. Many viewers weren't drawn in by the plot, but rather by her name and her co-stars, a kind of invisible appeal in the short drama genre. More importantly, she possesses a rare quality: she isn't negatively affected by her on-screen pairings. She can work with anyone, but isn't locked into any particular relationship. This means she can create buzz while maintaining room for continuous evolution. If her subsequent works continue to upgrade in terms of subject matter and character arc, she could very well transition from a couple-centric figure to a true content core. In contrast, the true test of a top actress is never a fleeting data highlight, but rather the ability to remain relevant amidst changing aesthetics. The short drama market updates at an astonishing pace, but viewers' patience is extremely short. Today's top star can be replaced tomorrow. Yiying faces a more difficult and longer path: to bring new emotional experiences with each appearance, rather than repeating the formula for success within her comfort zone. When sweet romance is no longer a panacea, and when audiences begin to pay for realism, chemistry, and emotional density, those who truly remain will inevitably be those who dare to give their performances to the moment, rather than relying on formulas. This is why what appears to be merely a contest of chemistry between actors has actually escalated into an aesthetic vote within the short drama industry. Viewers, through clicks, the density of comments, and repeated viewings, have clearly expressed their choice. They don't want prearranged sweetness, but genuine emotions that resonate and make their hearts race. Yiying's traffic formula has never been a single burst of popularity, but rather a comprehensive and sustainable ability to deliver emotional impact. She understands how to leave room for intimacy before it blossoms, and how to restrain herself when getting close, keeping the relationship always on the verge of crossing the line. This precise control of boundaries unconsciously draws viewers into the emotional construction, making them increasingly invested and unable to tear themselves away. More importantly, her success has not come at the expense of her co-stars. Conversely, the male actors she partners with are often able to evoke more complex emotional layers. The on-screen couple is no longer just one-sidedly delivering sweetness, but a two-way pull in mutual growth. This mutually beneficial relationship model is quietly reshaping the value standards of short drama couples.
Thank you for watching the video. If this is your first time watching a video, please subscribe to the channel, like and leave your comments to help us develop your channel.